welcome to week 6 of Cooking with Miss Chrissy. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. Normally we'll do a lunch or we'll do a supper, but today we're actually going to do dessert because I thought that'd be pretty fun. So as much as it's going to be dessert, it's still going to be on the healthier side. So we're actually going to make 3 ingredient chocolate chip cookies. So you're not going to need a whole lot of stuff. It's just stuff that you might even have around your house. So we have some oats here. That's one of our ingredients. We have 2 bananas. They're about medium size. That's our second ingredient. And for the last and the best part, we're going to have some chocolate chips. So that's pretty much it. And for our tools, what we're going to have is a bowl. We have a cookie sheet. We have some tin foil to line your cookie sheet, or if you have parchment paper, you could use that too. We have a fork to mash our bananas. We have a spoon to stir our batter with, and we have a spatula for the end when we're going to lift up our cookies. We also have a cookie rack when we need our cookies to dry. And we have some saran wrap here because we're going to cover our bowl and rest the cookie dough in the fridge to chill for a little bit. So let's get started. Alright guys, so I cleared my space a bit to make some room and we're going to dive right into it. First thing we're going to do as always is make sure your hands are clean and your hair is tied back so you don't get any germs in your food. And also you don't get any hair in your food because that wouldn't be very good. We're going to grab our bananas right away. And we're going to get to peeling them. So I'm just going to open it, take off the banana peels, rest it to the side, just break it in half and toss it in my bowl. And we're going to go to our second banana and do the same exact thing. I'm going to put that in my compost after, and I'm going to toss those in the bowl. So we're going to take a fork and we're going to mash our bananas. You just want to make sure that the bananas are nice and crushed. So you'll get a bit of a nice arm workout to start. And you just want to push the fork into the bananas until it kind of looks a bit like porridge. Just stir it around. So it should look like this. So once that's done, I have my oats. I'm going to take my measuring cup. And I want my measurement to be nice and flat. I go for the oats. I'm going to shake it, shake it, shake it. And then I want it to be nice and flat. And so once that's full, we're just going to pour it inside here. Not going to stir it yet though. The next thing we're going to add before we stir it is the chocolate chips. And then I'm going to pour about half of my package. Just like so. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our mixing spoon and we're just going to mix that around nice and evenly. When you first start mixing, you always want to start slow and do what they call folding. So you're going to take your spoon and you're kind of going to scoop it over very slowly like that with your ingredients. So you take it and you just fold it like that until the ingredients are nice and wet. And once you notice that your ingredients are not flying everywhere anymore, you can go a little bit faster. So this is what your dough's going to look like. See? Super duper easy. So now, because the dough has to chill for a little bit, which means we're going to put it in the fridge, I'm going to take my saran wrap and I'm going to cover my bowl down. There we go. Make sure it gets all the edges. So if you want, you can just run your hand along the side to make sure that your saran wrap is nice and tight, just like that, and we're going to put that in the fridge. So now we're going to move to the oven. So the first thing I want to do is preheat your oven. The temperature that we're going to use for today is 350 degrees. So often before you change the dial to start your oven, you have to press something called bake. So for me, that would be turning it to my right side where you see the squiggles going up here. So I'm going to put mine on bake. And then after that's on, I'm going to choose my temperature. So I want 350. So I'm going to turn it until I see that the knob is on 350. Sometimes your oven will make a beep when it's ready. Sometimes there'll be a light that's flashing. For me, my light is on to know that I'm preheating the oven. And when it's nice and ready, it's going to turn off. So that way I know it's ready. And so I just realized I forgot something, guys. Much better. The next thing we're gonna do is take our dough out of the fridge and we're gonna start scooping it onto our cookie sheet. But just before we do that, we're actually gonna line the cookie sheet so that our cookies don't get stuck to it. And if it's a bit long, you can just curl it around the edges. And if you don't want to use tin foil or you don't have tin foil, you could also use parchment paper, which works really well. I'm gonna grab my cookie dough. Perfect. My cookie dough looks nice and solid. And I'm just gonna take my fork, or I could take a spoon, and I'm gonna make medium-sized cookies. Now the thing with this cookie, it's a bit sticky, so your hands are gonna get a bit messy, but that's okay. When you stick the cookie dough on, you're actually gonna take your fork and flatten them just a little bit, because these cookies don't tend to rise like normal cookies do, so they'll stay in a ball if you keep them like that. So you just wanna flatten them and keep going. So based on the size of my cookie sheet, I'm actually gonna make 3 rows. So I'm gonna put 3 here. I'm gonna flatten, this is my second one. I'm gonna take my fork and flatten it a bit. And I'm gonna keep doing that until all my cookie dough is used. So now our cookies are on the cookie sheet, all nice and placed. Actually, it turned out that I had just enough batter to make 12 cookies. And it perfectly fit, and the batter is all finished, so that's pretty cool. So now it's time to put them in the oven. So we're gonna put our oven mitts on just to be safe, and then I'm gonna take this up and I'm gonna put it in my oven. The recipe says that it can take either 15 to 18 minutes, depending on your oven and how hot it is, but just to be safe, you wanna put it for 15 minutes to start. If you find that it's too squishy or it's not ready yet, you should take a toothpick, poke it into your cookies after the 15 minutes. If you pull your toothpick out and you notice that it still has a bunch of dough on it, then it's probably not ready yet. So you want to wait until your toothpick is nice and clear when you pull it out again. So my timer is done and it's time for me to take my cookies out. So as you can see, I'm putting on my oven mitts again, very important. And I'm actually going to turn off my oven before I go in there, just so I don't forget. So I'm going to take a step back when I open the door. I'm gonna reach in carefully and I'm gonna pull out my cookies. So I'm just gonna leave them here to cool for maybe 3 to 5 minutes, just so that when you take it out, they have time to solidify and you also don't burn yourself. We're going to transfer our cookies to our cookie sheet. A bit of a difficult time with the spatula getting the cookies off of the tin foil. So if you're using tin foil, you might want to grease the pan with just a little bit of oil or butter, just so they don't stick as much. So what you're gonna do is, if your pan is still hot, you can wait a few more minutes for them to cool more, or you can grab a towel and put it under my baking sheet. So that's for 2 reasons. One reason is so that the cookie sheet doesn't burn the surface that it's on, but I'm also going to use the edge of the towel to hold the cookie sheet while I take them off and transfer them to the cookie rack. I'm just going to keep transferring them. And just like that. So that's basically it, guys. Here you have your 3 ingredient cookies, just chocolate chips, just oats, and bananas. How simple is that? I can't wait to see you make your own, as per usual. I want you to tell me if you liked it or not. I want you to tell me if you like the original chocolate chip cookies better. They have sugar in those ones, so probably, eh? I want to see the pictures that you guys sent to Miss Julie. Until next time, guys.
On my way, on my way, on my way.